What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm bringing you guys a video on Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, and this will be on episode 17, which is called The Captured Tough Guy. The episode overall was pretty good. It introduced us to a new mecha combination. It revealed certain information regarding two characters that are characters that you don't think of so much often, but are still important, which are the Dino Knights. We learn a little bit more about two of the Dino Knights and their connection to each other. We also learn a little bit more about Bomba, and it's overall a pretty good episode, and it brings back one of the villains that left for a few episodes, and that villain was Weisel. In fact, the episode basically starts with us seeing Weisel return again. And what does that mean exactly? Well, in this episode, what happens is that we end up seeing that Kiron is kind of upset because, you know, obviously Gaiatris just died, and Tank Joe has already been destroyed, and so Weisel returns and he's ready to cause more trouble. And what happens is that he's informed right then and there about the fact that you know, there's a new Ryusoulger, so he's going to have to deal with that. So this changes things. However, Weisel has his own plan in mind, which his plan has to do with hypnotizing Mosarex. So what actually happens is that from here we end up seeing that Canalo is walking down the streets, and he ends up finding this boy who's looking to understand how to make a rainbow. And the thing is that normally he doesn't help boys, he helps girls or women because, you know, that's what he's targeting. He wants to have a bride, obviously. So at first he doesn't do it, but he thinks, I might as well help you because he's a little kid, and I might as well do that. So what happens is that he ends up, Canalo ends up going to speak to Mosarex, and he tries to find an answer from him. Mosarex doesn't really help too much. However, there's this girl that comes over to him, which is really disguised, which really is Weisel's disguise, basically explaining how rainbows are formed. And eventually this leads to a new Minosaur forming, which this Minosaur is the Ghost Ship Minosaur. The Ghost Ship Minosaur is pretty cool looking. It obviously is based off of the idea of a classic ghost ship, mythical creature, basically. And it's the first object-based Minosaur, which is important because typically they've always been based off of mythological beasts of some sort. So this is kind of an interesting interpretation of things. This Minosaur is interesting as well because his ability kind of relates to the myth behind him in a way, sort of. Although it's like he has two in a way, because people get sick, they're admitted to a hospital, and we end up learning that like Kentaro's teacher was admitted to a hospital, and her main wish was to see a rainbow because she's not in good health. And the thing is that we see that the Minosaur attacks, and his ability basically, which has to do with him, is like he basically puts people stuck in the sand. So it's very similar to how, like, when you have a sunken ship, how they'll sink to the bottom of the ocean and they'll be buried under sand. So it's kind of like relating to that, in the sense is that like those ships often lead to, you know, the spookier kind of more mysterious stories where, like, say a monster, like say someone goes scuba diving down and they try to find the lost treasure of whatever, you know. It's that kind of a thing almost. That's how I kind of equate it to. Now, as far as things go otherwise, what else can I say? What do you call it? This episode also introduces, also ends up leading to us finding the picture of the woman who, she looks very attractive. And the thing is that we end up seeing her. Now, what does end up happening is that they have to deal with the Minosaur and Weisel. The Minosaur causes a lot of trouble for them, but they do manage to battle against it. Eventually, what does end up happening is that the Ryusoulgers and the Ryusoulgers split up, where in this case Canalo and Bomba go off together. And what happens is that Mosarex, as I said before, gets hypnotized by Weisel, but what he has to do first is he has to put a massive net over Mosarex. and that's what he does to keep him confined to a specific area. And at first he's against the Ryusoulgers, but then eventually they manage to snap him out of it. And what does end up happening is that the other Ryusoulgers have to deal with the Minotaur, and eventually they do manage to make him turn big. And when they manage to make him turn big, the Ryusoulgers form Kishiryu Tigerlands, because Bomba's not there, obviously, so that's the biggest combination they can form. It is good to see that they are using another combination other than the basic Kishiryu, and also they're not, well, Kishiryu 3 Knights, or they're not using 5 Knights, because it's good to see things mixing up a little bit and not just staying with the same things over and over again. So we see that. And at the same time, with Bomba and Canelo, Bomba comes by with Dime Volcano, and apparently Dime Volcano is Mozarex's brother. So because of this, the two of them have a relationship with each other, and that's actually kind of good in a way, because it kind of implies maybe that will further create trust with the Ryusoulgers for Mosarex, because again, Mosarex was completely against him, was against the Ryusoulgers initially, and this may actually create more of a reason for Mosarex to trust the Ryusoulgers and not be on this kind of uncertainty situation where they're not sure whether or not he'll remain loyal to the Ryusoulgers. But what does end up happening is that Dime Volcano helps Mosarex out and frees him, and then what happens is the two of them combine to form Spino Thunder, and they manage to attack Wazo, and Wazo does retreat. Now, as far as things go from here, we then see the final battle against the Minotaur, which we end up seeing the fighting power of Spino Thunder and Kishiryu Tigerlands going up against the Minotaur, and they do manage to defeat it. As far as things go from here, Kentaro doesn't get the rainbow he wants, which is like an actual rainbow in the sky, but instead he ends up getting, there's a rainbow seashell that's brought to the woman, and the person that brings it is Bomba. And the thing is that she says that he reminds her of this person that she knew several years ago, but the difference is that he had a very similar face, but he looked very lonely, and the thing is that she was very appreciative, but it was very interesting. And what basically was hinted at was, because she's so old, it's likely that 50 years ago he probably knew her, and he didn't. And the thing is that she didn't realize that he wouldn't age. So she's basically looking at the same person. She just doesn't realize it's the same person. It's just, again, they don't age a lot, so that's an important point. So he did know her, and so otherwise we hear a little bit of background on the seashell. Basically, the idea that if you have the seashell, basically as long as you have it, your love could last forever with someone, whoever you share that connection with. So that's a very sweet thing, and essentially it's assumed that, you know, they shared a seashell together, and likely that's why their love and connection has remained since. So it's a very sweet story, a very interesting idea overall, and I really do like the idea behind it. Not too much else happened. The preview for next episode looks pretty good. It's going to be introducing a new combination, which is Kishiryu Gigant, which is the combination that combines Kishiryu, Kishiryu Neptune, and Dime Volcano into their combined form, which is Kishiryu Giganto, which is those three combined into one. As far as whether or not there's a 7 Knights form, I'm not sure if there's like an actual 7 Knights form. People have created like custom ones, so I'm not sure if they'll do like an official one or not. But as of now, we do know that this is another form that's happening, and we should be. And after this, I don't remember if there's any more forms that will be introduced with Kishiryu Neptune. So I think after this we'll have to wait till the next new mecha is introduced, which should be happening, I believe, in August, so just stay tuned for that. I could be wrong though, but I'm just saying I think that that's what I'm led to believe. Otherwise, that's about it for me, guys. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. Are you guys liking the show so far? What are your thoughts on Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger? And I'd love to hear your opinions below. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye, guys.